It was really cool and a little scary, and I just keep thinking to myself that I hope we get to keep this baby. So. So I'm pregnant and I have absolutely no idea how far along I am. Wednesday, September 7th, 2022, this year, Devin and I were celebrating our 4-year wedding anniversary. And that day will live in my heart, not just because of the anniversary, but because it's when we found out that we were pregnant again. And so the day before, I went in to see my nurse practitioner, and basically I thought I was infertile because I hadn't had a period in 3 months. And I had called the doctor at 2 months and said, hey, is there anything that we can do? I haven't had a period in 2 months. And they're like, well, call us at 3 months. So I waited 3 months, took a pregnancy test. On August 26th, I took a pregnancy test and it was negative. So I called the doctor right away and I was like, hey, I took a pregnancy test. I still haven't had a period in 3 months. Is there anything that we can do? And the nurse was like, yeah, come on in. We're gonna get you in with the nurse practitioner, Dan. So I really did think that I was sick. Like, I thought that my body was just, there was something wrong with it and there's something bad happening inside my body. And so the nurse, when I went in on the 6th, she put me on progesterone pills, and you take it for 10 days and then it just sparks your body to start bleeding. I don't know the whole science behind it. I just know that when you take it for 10 days and then you stop taking it, you start bleeding like that next day or a couple days later. And then I would have to go in again to like kind of trick my body into ovulating. So funnily enough, they didn't do a urine test on me when I went in, and it was, so I made the appointment on the 26th. I went in on the 6th. So that's like a week and a half in between. And I didn't take a pregnancy test. I didn't think that I was pregnant. And I also kind of thought that they would take a pregnancy test for me when I went there. I kind of assumed that they would do a pee test, you know? They didn't. So I even asked them, I was like, hey, do you need me to give you my urine samples so that you can take a test? And they're like, no, we don't need that. And I was like, all right. They did test my hormone levels. So they did test my HCG, you know, but blood work takes a little bit longer to come back. So the next, like that night, I was so sad that night, that day. I was so sad. I was just like, you know, it's good that I have all these things, these options, that I have all these things that I can do to make my body better, to make my body more inhabitable for a baby to come. And that is Dada. Do you want to go get him? I think he's downstairs. But I was just like, you know, I don't know what I can do. So it was nice to have a professional tell me like what it is I can do if my body really is just rejecting me having periods and everything. So after I had my miscarriage in April, I had a period after, what was it, 6 weeks, 7, oh, I think it was like 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks. I had a period about 8 weeks after my miscarriage. I had one period. It was a weird period. I don't even know how to explain to you, but I was like, it was the first time I was ever relieved to have my period, really. So I took my first dose of the progesterone the night that they gave it to me, and they said that the side effects could be like similar to pregnancy symptoms, which are like tiredness, nausea, there's a few others I don't remember, but and I kind of had those symptoms, but I shrugged it off because I'm like, oh, it's probably the progesterone. And I then Googled, is taking progesterone okay while pregnant? Because Devin had mentioned, like, he's like, well, maybe you should take a pregnancy test just in case. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I just wanted to know if it was safe. And so it seemed safe from what I could find. it didn't seem like it would hurt the baby, because you make more progesterone, I think, when you're pregnant anyway, so it's fine. But when I went to go take my second dose of the progesterone, I decided, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna take a test just to be safe, because Devin put this idea in my head and now I can't think of anything else. And it was a positive test. And the funny thing is that I always video myself while I take these tests, and I didn't this time because I just assumed it would be negative. 100% thought it was gonna be negative.
Hey, Dad.
Go get him. I'm not sure where I was, but it was just crazy. Like, I immediately pulled my camera out because I was pregnant. I had a positive pregnancy test strip, and then I had Devin come in. I'll just show you the footage really quick. So yesterday, I went to find a doctor to try and see what was going on with my body, because I haven't had a period in 3 months. And they put me on progesterone. So I took a progesterone pill yesterday, which I've been looking up to make sure that, like, if I was pregnant, that it wouldn't, like, hurt the baby. And I just took a pregnancy test, and Devin's outside. But I feel like I need to call. I feel like I need to call my doctor and make sure that me taking progesterone isn't a bad thing. But that is not a faint line. So they took a bunch of tests too. They took my blood. Wonder if they caught that.
Ready for these two?
Yeah, come here though for a second.
Huh?
Just come here. Dan needs you for a second. He wanted you to see this. But I also wanted you to see this.
I sent that way.
Do you have a digital?
Mm-hmm.
Did you check it?
Mm-mm. What do you think?
Send that way.
It's a very, there.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I have any pee in me to try it though.
Wait a minute.
But
Guess you
I guess I didn't need to take the progesterone yesterday.
didn't have to go to the doctor either.
Mm-mm.
Cancel your appointments.
I definitely will. Well, I might
Verify it.
verify it, call them and be like, hey.
Push and loopy.
You kind of hunch for you when you were saying
My socks are
you were feeling nauseous and stuff.
okay.
Just hope it's real.
Mama, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Mama's
better
okay.
stick.
Yeah. I really hope it does.
My socks are.
I'm gonna take 10 more pregnancy tests. I hope you know that.
I expected. Make sure you use your digital one or get a few more lottery.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna use the digital.
Mama, okay.
Yeah, Mama's okay.
Come on, Dan. Come sit in your high chair. Yeah.
I didn't even pull out my camera because I was like, it's gonna be negative.
Come on, let's go sit in your high chair.
This is the second one, and it's already showing a second line. So, and it's not done So I'm gonna take a digital one as well. Devin says I should, so I'm going to. Should be enough pee, I think. It's nice that these have like little caps to go on them. So I'll let that sit for a minute. Okay, definitely gonna call my doctor tomorrow and let them know the good news. They took blood tests, so they might already know that I'm pregnant. I don't know. It's got the second dot out of 4. So I really do honestly think that my diet has helped so much. So. It doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. You better frame that.
We're pregnant. I like you. You better. It's fun that we found out on our anniversary though. It's kind of like, doesn't feel real. I got pregnant after 3 months of not having a period. It's crazy. I did, a month before I found out I was pregnant, I did start a new diet. And they did say with this new diet that I'm on that it's possible it could really heighten your fertility. And I was like, well, I mean, my body's gonna need some time to heal, but I have been feeling so much better other than the fact that I'm pregnant and I'm exhausted. And my body is so tired from being pregnant. I don't know why I didn't think to take a pregnancy test all on my own, but it just never happened. And I don't know, but now I'm pregnant and now Dan's gonna have a little baby brother or baby sister, and it's really exciting and we're just really excited. So it feels different this time. And I'm just happy to share the happy news. And I have my little box for the baby we lost. And it just sits up there on top of that little shelf, and I look at it once in a while, and maybe one day I'll share that with you. I have footage of when I opened my angel blanket, and it's a very sweet blanket, but it is very, it's very personal, so I might share that with you. We'll see. But I'm really excited and my body feels ready this time. So I'm very optimistic, and that's saying something for everything we went through this year. So, yep. So the reason why I don't know how pregnant I am is because I didn't have a period for 3 months before I got pregnant. So they can't really know my exact due date. They don't know. We don't know when I ovulated. And I do want to ask them based off of my labs that I've done. I've given blood 3 times within the span of 5 days, so that they could kind of make sure that my pregnancy was progressing well, because of the fact that I didn't have a period before and the fact that I had a miscarriage earlier this year. Right after I found out I was pregnant, they were like, okay, well, you're pregnant. I actually called them and told them, I'm like, hey, so I stopped taking the progesterone. I just figured I don't need it because I'm pregnant now. I didn't tell them that I thought it was weird that they didn't actually test me for pregnancy when I went in. But I also think it's a little strange that I didn't ever test myself within those 10 days from when I took my pregnancy test and called them to when I went in. Because when I took my pregnancy test on the 7th, which was our anniversary, by the way, which is kind of fun, when I took that pregnancy test, it was really dark. It was not like a question. There wasn't a question about it. I was pregnant 100%. And it was really cool and a little scary. And I just keep thinking to myself that I hope we get to keep this baby. And I'm very, very hopeful. Honestly, I feel very optimistic for this pregnancy. It feels different. I guess I'm just excited and nervous, and with this pregnancy, I didn't want to only document the sad things if something were to happen. I wanted to document all the happy stuff. And you know, happiness can be very fleeting, so you need to treasure it. So anyway, so I don't know how pregnant I am. I have an appointment in 2 weeks. They weren't gonna get me in until a month from now because that was when their soonest appointment was, but I've been persistent. I have called in almost every day since I made the appointment to begin with, and just am like, you know what, I had a miscarriage. I don't know how far along I am. I'm very antsy. I'm very worried. I think I'm 6 or 7 weeks pregnant right now, and so if I get my first ultrasound in 2 weeks, I'll be, what, 8 or 9 weeks pregnant, so that's about the right time. And I'm getting my ultrasound on 2 weeks from tomorrow, so I think I'll be 8 or 9, maybe 10 weeks pregnant, but 10 I think is pushing. I just don't know how far along I am exactly, so it's hard to know. But I'm gonna go off of the size of the baby, how big the baby is measuring, as my guide. So, and I can't stop smiling because I'm pregnant and I'm excited. I can't stop crying too. I cry a lot. Last night I have crazy pregnancy hormones, okay? Last night I was gonna edit my video. I ended up putting a video up today. I just edited it this morning instead of editing it last night. And so I edited it, posted it, and did all that. But last night I was trying to edit it, could not do it. Mentally just could not do it. So I was just like, Devin's like, hey, are you gonna come sit by me and edit your video? And I'm like, you know what? I probably just need to go to bed. So I went and gave Devin a hug because he was working downstairs. And I had been sitting up here looking at my computer trying to edit, and I just was like, you know what, I think I need to go to bed. So I went and gave him a hug, and I started crying. Guys, because you know, I felt like I should be able to do the things that I want to do. I should be able to do things and get things done, and I just started crying. And he's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, just pregnancy hormones. And I've been doing really dumb things and just keep making dumb mistakes all day long. Like I was cutting something and I like cut it into my finger. So now I have this little scar on my finger. Smart. Yeah, anyway. I hope you're ready for pregnant Lindsay, because she's coming. She's here. Just so tired. Is it nap time yet?